Hello, this is János, and today we are going to have a look at a few records. Actually, I listened to all of these records that I'm going to show you last Sunday. So now this is my next Saturday, and this is the time when I have some time to do a video on these. I really wanted to do them right after the listening, but I haven't got the chance. So now, what is the topic for today for these records? And I would say the topic is audiophile records versus non-audiophile records. And what do I mean audiophile? Under audiophile I mean in this case, not how in general people think about it, because it seems now like everyone has a different concept about what an audiophile record is. For today's, it's like when there's a studio, a recording studio that is regarded as an audiophile studio, who are making records just for the sonic purposes, or they are remastering to make it better, or at least more audiophile, so that the emphasis goes from musicality towards sonic perception. So you perceive the sound rather than the music. And to start all of these record presentations, I would like to share a story with you first. It is very educational. So a couple of years ago I was at a record sale. So for those of you who don't know, I used to go to many record sales for many decades to buy my records. But then as well, just before the start of the pandemic, I went to a couple record sales as a seller, so to sell some of those records which I do not like, because just to be fair, I was kind of, I was a discriminate record collector, but I just ended up with a lot more records than I could ever listen to, and often in my life I had long stretches for years I barely had any time to listen to music at all. And then there were times when I'm catching up with it, and then just basically the whole day I don't do anything but listening to LPs. And then I go through binges of listening to them, and when I listen to them I use the Marie Kondo method. Oh, Sylvester, do not hiss. What's happening? Cats are doing something they shouldn't be doing. Play nice, no hissing. No hissing. Why are you hissing at Kintaro? Or Kintaro, were you hissing? Machi is here. Okay. So anyway, crisis averted. So I'm using the Marie Kondo method for records, which means that if it doesn't bring you joy, then say goodbye to it. And actually Marie Kondo started that method for, cleaning your house, or getting rid of the clothes you don't want, or get order in your kitchen, etc. But I have extended it to the record collection, and it's a joy, because I really have more records than I could put out on my record shelf, and my aim is to shrink my collection down to a size that I can access every record if I want to. And for that I'm just listening to them, and if I don't like what I hear, I say goodbye to it. Even if it's a renowned audiophile, whatever, 180 gram pressing, and it came down from the heavens on Michael Framer's wings, and even then, if I don't like it, it can be recorded in the most godly manner. I say goodbye to it. So anyway, And also I have lots of records where I have multiple copies of it, sometimes even 3, 4, 5, 6 or more. And I do recommend, if you are a record collector, if you find cheap copies, like just grab it, even if it has a beat up cover, grab it, because it might be a very good pressing and you can never tell from the looks what is the condition of it. And even if it looks bad, it can clean up extremely well. So why are you hissing? Sylvester, Kintaro, please stop it. What's happening? Sylvester! I have to break them off. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I had to break up a meeting of cats. Sylvester was intimidating Kintaro really badly. Poor Kintaro was hissing. And before that, Sylvester was intimidating Machiko. And she started hissing at him, and he just wouldn't quit. And he was intimidating both of them. So usually what happens is that when they get close and the space is really tight, then Machi and Kintaro, they get really antsy. And usually it's them who start making the festival. But in this case, Sylvester was intimidating both of them and just was playing at that. So he just didn't let it go, but was trying to show that he's the alpha, and that's not a good behavior. They are usually nice to each other. I'm not sure what's happening today. Why is Sylvester in such a mood like that? So back to the record collections. If you can grab multiple copies of the same one, just grab it, because you never... records are something, for those of you who don't know about vinyl, who are just on the digital and thinking about vinyl, the most important thing to know is that for me, actually, what records you want to buy. And if you are into getting modern pressings from today's age, and you want it to have the best music experience, the best, if you are listening to classical music, you want the best interpretation. Or if you're listening to jazz, you want the most live feel to it, and you want to listen to the soul of the jazz, not just like let's say I want to listen to guitar in super high fidelity. If you want that, just get something modern. But if you are not just into the sound, but you want the music, but you want to experience the music at a very deep level, then I would say in most genres, go with music that was recorded back then, way before 2000. Because even though now, today, we have a lot of records being pressed, even so-called audiophile records, but the way they do it is extremely inferior. The sound quality you are getting with today's pressing is generally, not in every single case, but generally, if you get a well-pressed record from the 50s, it will just, well, I will share with you what happens, because you are going to hear about it. But for myself, what I have found is that getting these old records gives me a far better experience than chasing modern pressings. That's what I find. I have like a section there of the new records and the modern things, and until yesterday I haven't even touched them for 10 years, not a single one. I haven't listened to a single record pressed after 2000. I haven't grabbed from the audiophile 180 Grandmaster, and etc. And well, that's not exactly true, because there were some occasions when I brought them out, but exclusively with the purpose of comparing the modern remaster to the original pressing, and in each and every single case we have found with my friends, everyone was just rolling in laughter because the modern audiophile pressing was so much inferior to the to the first pressings. And however, I'm not here to discard or dismiss the modern pressings, because a modern pressing is much better than a worn out copy of an original pressing which the owner has treated atrociously. I don't know, guys, what's going on in the world. How come there are tons of records which are in the condition they are? I don't know what people do with them. For me, all of the records, some I have listened to hundreds of times, and none of them suffered any of those damages. So you would put them on and, oh, this is brand new. So that thing that records are fragile or they don't last is utter BS. It's not the records that we have a problem. It's humans. It's humans who are abusive, who are careless, who behave like animals, like an animal farm. And if you take care of your records, and most of the time people want to buy a new record so that you know that that record has been treated well. Now, and that's what we are paying in the price of a new record, that you know that it's brand new. However, if you buy old records, you can buy often, at least here where I live, or could buy, not anymore, could buy like 20 old records for the price of a new audiophile pressing, or even sometimes 50 if you catch them on the last day of the record sale, and or maybe 200. And so usually here in Hawaii we had like the Hawaii Public Radio record sale, and on the last day of the sale they usually go that it was like $20 for a whole box, which means 100 records for $20. And what I used to do, because I'm mainly getting classical music, classical records, and then on those record sales we have a classical room and a jazz pop room, and when the sale opens, every single person just attacks. It's like an army invading the jazz section, and people are literally just carrying knives and tackling each other for for the records, and it's a maelstrom and mayhem. and then you go into the classical room, and usually you find one or two lost person there who are just looking. Oh, have you found any jazz records here? Or no? Like, what is this? Bach and Handel, Scarlatti? Who are these guys? They're just I'm totally lost here, and that's absolutely fabulous, because I can graze and browse to my heart's delight. And what I'm doing is, on the first days I'm selecting a couple hundred LPs that I want, rearrange them on a separate shelf, and then on the last day I pack them up in boxes, and it's like $20 a box, 100 records each, and for like $60 I'm getting 300 LPs. It's just like, and for $60 you are getting maybe like a single audiophile pressed record, and instead I get 300. So that's how I ended up with so many LPs. And the thing is that out of those 300, not all 300 will be A+ quality, whatnot, and a lot of that I have to cull it out. And if I find like several copies of, let's say, Handel's Messiah, I have narrowed them down, my copies, to just 19 copies of Handel Messiah, and those are box sets, so it's like a whole shelf. But I had more. And but that's fun, and then I can listen to it. And on my turntable, that's why I had two arms, because I had one arm for my established collection, where I have cleaned records and then I can listen to with the Benz cartridge, with the high quality cartridge, and I have an Audio Technica on the other arm, on the Sony arm, and that I listen to those records which I haven't listened to them yet, and then those records are dirty, whatnot, so, and I don't want to just destroy my expensive cartridge on unknown records, and I listen to them, and I have 3 piles. After listening, I have one pile that I put my keepers. I have another pile to donate, and I have another pile to give to friends. And usually if it's like really bad, and then I just chuck them out in the trash can. Sometimes there are records which are like really warped, although I take them out, so, and if it looks in a really destroyed shape, then I don't buy them. But I have to say that at the Hawaii Public Radio record sale, I never find destroyed records. They always check what they sell, what they have on the sale, even though it's like tens and tens of thousands, like 50,000 plus records. They check them, and it's very rare to see anything in a really bad condition, but you never know. So there's several piles after listening, and that's how things are. And eventually, for these older records, let's see what you can find, because now I'm getting to the point after this long introduction. Well, I'm not getting to the point yet, because I have another story for you, and this story is what I started in the beginning before the cats sidetracked me. Is that at the first sale when I was selling records, was that I had, a bunch of records in front of me on the table. I think I bought out about 400 LPs, and people were, really excited and browsing. Oh, this is really good. What's that? And there was a person who looked like a great music lover, and I was talking to him, and he said he has a dual turntable and an old Denon receiver, and he's really into jazz, and sometimes he listens to classical, but he's mostly interested in jazz. And I told him, oh, if you really love music, I have audiophile pressings, audiophile records as well. And then he literally dropped everything, all those records that he had in his hand, and he eyes wide in shock, and then he even took a step back. I said, audiophile? No, I don't listen to that. And he literally ran away. And there were other people browsing when I said I have audiophile records, and guys, after that, not a single person has bought a single record from me. And and I just like, what on earth is going on? What's happening? And even though like I had maybe like 30% of what I had with me was audiophile records, most of them not, but just having the taint that I listened to audiophile records, it was a signal to people who are into the music, who love music, that avoid this guy like a plague, because he has a messed up taste. He probably his normal selection is also stay away from. And I was thinking, what on earth is going on here? So let's have now a look. Oh, I have Kintaro. Let's have a look with Kintaro. You hear that? And I have got a text message on the phone too. I think that's what he was saying. Where was I? Let me just respond to this quickly. Okay, done. So, basically, why was he in shock, and why did he run away on the mere mention of audiophile records. Now let's show you how was my last Saturday morning. So let me grab, this is a keeper pile. So in the morning I started with an Irene Papas record. So this is something that I just got from, I think it has, or where did it arrive from? I got, it came from the mainland, and this is so hilarious. He was the seller. Can you read it? Nelly cracked up on the seller's name. So anyway, I got Irene Papas's record, and this time this is not one of those that he has done with Vangelis, but this is her album of Mikis Theodorakis songs. And those of you who don't know Irene Papas, she's a Greek actress, singer. She was playing, her famous role was in the Zorba the Greek, which was like way back then, black and white film. And she used to be the forefront personality of Greek theater and then Greek music and arts, basically. And she just passed away recently in her 90s. And wow, I really recommend for those of you who are looking for female vocals to listen to Irene Papas, because she has a very deep soul, and she communicates human feelings, humanity at a very deep level. And even on this song as well, which are Greek songs, and I have her other albums. Actually, I'm looking for her second album with Vangelis. I only have the odes, and she has one more with Vangelis, but I'm looking for that, and I haven't found it for a while. For a price and a shape and condition that I would consider to get it. So anyway, I'm keeping my eyes open, but this came up at a really good price and I grabbed it, and it's in a very good condition as well. And I started listening to it and Sunday morning, and I just listened to it quietly, because the system is not warmed up yet. My cartridge is cold, and when you start playing your records, the first record you play, it won't sound at its best. It will sound still sleepy, and you won't be in audiophile heaven. So if you are looking for that, then just warm up your equipment first, and then things start. But even now, I put it on and listened to it just quietly, and it's beautiful. I enjoyed it tremendously. Nelly woke up, and then she joined, listened, and she was reading the cover we were reading about. And by the way, Irene Papas, she collaborated several times with Vangelis, and Vangelis was like a generation younger than she was, and she lived past Vangelis. So Vangelis died before Irene Papas died, which was like really unexpected. Anyway, I was really sad by both of them passing away. When Vangelis passed away, suddenly when I'm playing his music after his passing, they sound different, and they have different meaning. And that I also found that Irene Papas's voice and what I hear in the music became different after her passing. And I think this is part of the audio adventure. What you can do with exploring music is to explore mankind, what it is to be alive, what is it that you have your voice on a recording, you have other people's voices, their thoughts, their emotions, their lives on a recording, and to me, the role of my audio system is to give me access, give me a window to these human conditions, human states, and the human mind and human soul. And this is a really nice and beautiful record for that. And for those of you who don't know, these are Greek songs, so if you are not high on and keen on Greek songs, then maybe this record is not for you. But if you are just in there for the vocals, she has an extremely deep voice that would put like her resonance and the weight of her voice would put most of today male singers to shame, like shame, or maybe not. This is maybe the wrong way to say it, but her voice, the depth of her voice, I would just say, is just incredible. It's truly fantastic. It's like another singer who is a female singer and has such great, amazing depth to her voice. Wow, her name just slipped my mind, but it's been here all along. And when I wanted to say, it's gone. Kintaro, what is happening? Jessie Norman. She's an opera singer, and she has such an amazing full voice. It's fantastic. So like the opera version of a full voice is Jessie Norman, and the theater pop light music, popular music, deep version is Irene Papas. And Irene Papas's voice is just so beyond what we experience in the popular world that I can recommend, like Mercedes Sosa in South America. She is that level of singer as Jessie Norman and Mercedes Sosa, and so I was really deeply touched by this record, and I'm definitively keeping it, and I'm really glad I bought it. Nelly was a little bit disappointed that it's not the other Vangelis album, because Vangelis adds just an amazing depth to all of those instances when Irene Papas is singing there. There are 3 of those that I know of. There is one album that the title I don't recall now. That's the one that I don't have yet. And there's the Odes, which is a solo album. And there's one where Vangelis is in a band, but it's not called Vangelis yet. It was his previous band, which was Aphrodite's Child. And the album is called 666. And they are singing the book of Revelations from the Bible. That's what the record is about. And maybe there are some Christian viewers who are viewing this music, and I suspect some of you might just 666, oh my god, that's a very bad number. But the problem with that, if you had that reaction, is that the number is like a tool. There is no such thing as an inherently bad number. The bad thing is the human, how you use that number and what rhetorics you use to present that number. Because if you are a Bible scholar, then you will find 2 references for that 666 number. And yes, in the book of Revelations it says it's the number of the beast. But also you can find another reference to it in the Old Testament, and there it says it's the number of man. What does this mean? Is one of them lying to you, or just the whole thing is pure fiction, or what? And what I could say, my opinion about it, is that it is both. And it shows to you that a man is not a fixed thing. It's your choice. You can either behave as a man or as a beast. And the choice is yours. Which path do you choose? And if you are, how would you say, you have love in your heart, you are conscious of your actions, and you hold those of you around you responsible for what they teach to you, what their purposes are, because often the problem that mankind historically faced with religions is that the problem is not religion itself, the problem is with religious figures who are perusing the religious text to their liking, and they are picking out, cherry-picking passages from totally unrelated, unrelevant scriptures, passages, and they put them together to form a single message. And the Bible is called the Bible because it means the library. The Bible means the library. It is a library of basically the collected experiences of mankind of a certain region. And those are every kind of experiences. The good experiences, the bad, describing amazing feats of human bravery and love, and also describing the most despicable, horrific deeds that you can imagine. I'm one of those unfortunate human beings who read the Bible from cover to cover, and not just read the Bible. But I looked into multiple translations, Latin version, even looked into the translations from the Aramaic. So look, at the stage of my life, I spent a lot of time researching it, and I looked into what were the synods that affected the changes, how we got to what we have today from what we know as the source was, and basically it's a path of carnage. And even in the year 216 there were scholars who argued that most of what we have as the evangelions at that time have already been falsified to the point of being almost useless and carrying very little message that was original in them. And most of the bishops of that age in 216 have agreed that most of the evangelions are already corrupted to the point of inauthenticity. And after that, the 1800 years following that, the changes were just absolutely massive that were done to these books. And for example, there was like a single synod alone, like a synod of Trident. I forget which year, 1264. I don't know. I forgot it. This was like 20 years ago when I looked into it. They had 6,500 modifications made in the Bible, and modifications like taking out yes, changing it to no, and should to should not, that kind of changes, and just taking out things they didn't want to end. And as what philosophers who study the Bible say, the problem is not what they took out from the Bible, the problem is what they put in. And that was just a single synod that made modifications to the Bible, and there were like 50 plus instances of modifications. So anyway, my point is not that to show an overview of what happened to this book that a big section of mankind holds holy today. And by the way, you would say, oh, my version of the Bible is not that, this is from the King James and we have our own version. Well, all of this that I have told happened way before the King James Bible translation. So basically all of the versions of the Bible in circulations are are the progressions from a library that has been extremely heavily redacted, modified before. Yet, even in this state, if you care to read it, and do not read it with a personality telling you which passage to read after which passage, because then it will create in your head a very erroneous idea of what that message is about, because you think, oh, that's about that. It's like taking out different part of the equations and ordering it together to give you a rhetoric that suits a certain leader, a certain. So now my recording has stopped. I reached the recording limit of the camera, so now I'm back again. I don't know why I get into a sidetrack about the history of the Bible, but there we are. I think we got there from Irene Papas singing with Vangelis, and that is probably the Taming of the Beast in that album is when Irene Papas did a duo with Vangelis. Vangelis had everyone leave the room, and it was just the two of them recording that piece, no one else present. And there you can see like expression of human singing that you don't usually hear ever anywhere. And so I started into all of that stuff about history of mankind, so that don't be afraid of that number 666. Just only be afraid of it if you think you are a beast. But then just be afraid of yourself. And anyway, I don't even know if I want to publish this video after all of that, because I don't want to go into religion and I don't want to hurt people's feelings. Just want to educate a little bit about life and mankind and what music is. And that is absolutely, that album is truly can transport you, and I think to our present ages. So a lot of what that album is talking about, the end of the world, wow, okay, now it's totally out, so I'm scratching this video. It's not the end of the world. It just feels like things are not going in a linear fashion, and it's a time of change. Yeah, it's a time of change. We'll see. We always hope that it's a change for the good. So after Irene Papas, what did I do? I started listening to other records. So I tried to discover again Dave Cruzin, and eventually I did not like the music itself too much. It's not something that I'm listening to, but I just got this record because it's, you know, Sheffield, recorded live, direct to master disc. So it proposes that you will have just something truly amazing. And it sounded, yeah, audiophile, but it didn't sound like I'm live. It did not have the impact of Irene Papas, and of course it felt much lighter, but and it's fun. It's a fun record, but it didn't really grab me, and I was not really shocked or thrilled by the recording quality. I expected a lot more, honestly. Another one, good sound and clean. Actually, another Sheffield Lab record. West of Oz, Amanda McBroom and Lincoln Mayorga. It sounded okay, but neither the music was light. So compared to the Irene Papas reaching down to the soul of mankind, or down to the soul of the Greek spirit. These were light entertainment, like you go to the Blue Note and listen to who is playing and have a lunch in the meantime, or have a dinner and talk with friends, light entertainment. We went home, we met with friends and we had a good time. That's what these were to me. And then, okay, comes a London recording. This is Mantovani tango, and those of you who don't know, I dance Argentine tango, and I'm always looking for tango music as well, and which in the US you can never find. I really have not find any tango LPs that on record sales. That it just don't. And you find this, like I found that. I have 2 copies of this. And actually, sonic-wise, sound-wise, better than the Sheffields. Yes. It has more natural acoustics, dynamics, real dynamics. And here in the Sheffields, I feel as if the dynamics is faked. It doesn't sound natural. It's dynamic, but something is off. Like, what on earth is off? And you can't put your fingers to it, but something is off. And what is off is that the natural ambience, the sound stage, the room, the air is not there. They play in a vacuum. And here you can feel the air around you. And you feel that the air is moving, expanding, and things happen in real life. And here it feels, with the Sheffield records, that it's artificial. It happens in a virtual space. It gives you a virtual space definition, a very detailed, very exact virtual space, but not real. And here we have a huge, expansive natural space, and it is authentic. And yes, sadly it has those god-awful screechy plastic violins. I don't know what they do to the recording to make violins sound that horrible and unlistenable. It's ghastly. It's beyond that Hollywood plastic violin sound. Yes, you got it here in spades. But other than that, it's fun music, but it's totally not danceable. So if you are a tango dancer, this is not for you. This is not danceable at all. This is a theatrical, I would say, like a production tango music, where you go to an event, to an evening, you sit down, you listen to it, and oh wow, you listen to music. This is just strictly tango music modified to be entertainment, strictly musical entertainment. Nothing to do with that. So I don't even call it tango. It is entertainment, but not tango. This is, I don't know. Let's go back. Coming from a good place, Harry James. And not bad, but not my type of music. And here, same thing, recorded direct to master disc. I won't say the name again. I don't want this video to come off that I'm bashing a label. I don't really want to at all. And this was fun, but we looked at each other with no, not worth keeping. And here, Lincoln Mallorca, Volume 3. And it wasn't bad. It wasn't good either. I wrote very good sound and clean, but it was pretty okay. But it did not catch me that in a way that I want to listen to this music again. It was fun, listen to it once, like you go to the Blue Note, you eat with friends, you have good background music, but that's not what I want to do with my life afterwards. Same thing, another direct-to-disc recording, limited edition, another record, and this is like country music, and it didn't catch me. If you like country music, then you won't be disappointed with it, but again, it did not have that feeling to it. Oh, where did I put it? Where did I put it? I had another, which was like, I could put it in the country music category. It was just singing and a lot of fun. Where did I put it? I think I have not. Or maybe I put it away already. I filed it away. It can be. It can be. Yes, I think I have filed it away already. It was kind of like a tavern songs. Would be like country music from the 1800s. And that was fantastic. Phenomenal. It was just normally recorded on a tape and put to a record. But it had such a wonderful space and people playing, and when he was singing, it was not as clean as the singing on the Sheffield LPs. I think here I don't recall singing, but on some other Sheffields they were singing a lot, but it didn't sound authentic. It didn't sound like a human being is here with you. It sounded like you are listening to the image of a human being, to a totally artificial reconstruction. And it's really catchy, but something is missing. And the same thing, but like Thelma Houston, and this would be fun as well, but it's recorded well, it sounds good, but it lacks that spark of life that I have here with the Irena Papas. It's not just a spark of life, it's galores of life, or that tavern songs. It's like tons of life in it, and it sounds like so much more information coming from those music than these recordings, which supposed to be really high quality, supposed to have a lot more information, but they don't have more information. They have a sharper image, but much less information. They have less texture. The texture is missing from these presentations. Do I have more albums to show? Yes, I have more, and two more that I want to show. One of them is another one, just to restore the faith of people in direct cut records. This is an EMI made in Japan, Toshiba Japanese pressing, and Take the A Train the Third. These are Japanese artists playing, distributed by Audio Technica in the US. Can you see it? I hope it's visible. And Toshiba, maybe just show the catalog number. That's it. Now it's focusing, right? I can see. And it's fun. I liked it. So I'm not a keen on jazz person, mostly because I don't know enough of jazz. I haven't delved myself enough, but I like this album. And it sounded a lot better than the Sheffield direct cut. So this was the first disc that really kept the promise what a direct to disc cut can do, and it sounds really good. And that's what I felt, that it actually sounds a whole lot better than the Irene Papas album finally, and I have no reservations about lacking texture, lacking life. It is fun. And the last album I listened to last Sunday was an ABC Paramount record, Heavenly Sounds in Hi-Fi. And sometimes I grab these records, which is like, it doesn't promise much. Oh, what not? Who is this? Ferrante and Teicher. These are the musicians. If you want to see what is on the LP, this is the songs on the LP. And first I just want to say what was not good on it is that you can hear that the frequency curve doesn't match the RIA curve, the RII curve. So it's not exactly right. You would need a playback system to adjust more finely to get correctness. So there's some distortion up there. However, if that's a deal breaker for you, then this album is not for you. Then you must go with those Sheffields, etc., which are technically correct. Just there's like the frequency range is correct. They're extremely sharp, extremely clean, no background noise, no surface noise, no life, no texture. So if that's what you're looking for, then all of these records, which I did not have a good opinion of, will sound really good. However, it also depends on your system, because most audiophile systems or high-end audio, what is sold as high-end audio, is skewed in a way that to present only recordings were done in a fashion like that to sound acceptable. If they were not done in that fashion, your system will present it as unlistenable. However, it doesn't mean that they are unlistenable, that they are bad recordings. No. If you voice your system properly, then those recordings which were not recorded in that type of squeaky clean fashion, like these, they will sound actually orders of magnitude better in every aspect. Not every aspect, but every aspect that matters to you, maybe not. But to me, this record just blew away everything I heard on Sunday by such a large margin that it's not even funny. Like the space, like the room just opened up to infinite size, real people, amazing lungs, air, music, phenomenal, fantastic. And this is what I wrote on it. Amazing, huge ambience, effortless, natural dynamics, and full sound. Fun music and relaxing. I always put stickers on music just to... And it also said superb sonics, vibes, Sheffields on the floor many times over. Needs cleaning. Yeah, so I will definitively clean it and keep it in my collection. And that's it. And on the A train, the stickers I put, much better than Sheffield in general, very good. And then compresses in forte, so I noticed some compression when they were playing really loud. Most people would not call it compression because generally most systems cannot give you a really full dynamic reproduction, but there I found some dynamic compression, and I have to yet investigate why does that happen. So now I am breaking in a new phono stage, actually not a phono stage, but a step up unit. It's Jim Hagerman's Piccolo Zero. I will do a separate video on it, and it's a transistor based unit. It's super duper cheap, and Jim gave it to me. János, have a listen to it. I'm curious what's your opinion about it. You can talk about it in your channel if you want to. And that's what I'm doing. Actually, he gave it to me already in December, and And in the beginning I just plugged it in and let it run, and did not even listen to it totally unbroken, so I don't want it to bias myself with that. Anyway, the reason for that was really that in December I was really busy and haven't had much time to listen. And now listening to it, I'm really surprised that I don't hear transistorized quality to it, and just be mindful that it's a very affordable unit, and all of these records I listened with it, and usually you guys know that when you put transistors in the sound, they will by far skew your experience towards audiophile pressings, and they will make these sound not as good, not as preferable as you would find with tube stages or transformer step-ups. But I was really pleasantly surprised that the Piccolo Zero presented this album with just in full analog glory. So bravo, Jim, it is fantastic. On here I found some compression, but it could be that it's the recordings issue, or maybe I was clipping the Piccolo. I don't know. But I haven't heard any of that with any other recordings, and some stuff are really dynamic. But yeah, I have to say that this was the most dynamic of all. I would say not most dynamic, but they pushed the envelope a lot. However, I think maybe here there was more energy coming at places than here, and then there was absolutely no clipping there. So I suspect that maybe they just maxed out their input signal there, and it's a direct cut, and that's always a danger with direct cut, is that you have much less latitude of the recording, and if something was not set up, they didn't leave enough headroom, then it's going to be there, and that's okay. It's fine. I accept that, and it's something that you notice, that you learn from it, and part of what makes us human. And then I rather have an album where they just have that compression at one point in the whole album, and but you have the integrity of the recording, then have something scrubbed and make squeaky clean and just sound artificial and lifeless. So I think that's our music listening for today, and my story and what's happening, and my apologies for the long history session. I might even take it out. So if I have taken it out, then you are wondering now, János, what are you talking about? Probably I will cut pieces of it out from this recording. So this will be maybe my first video that I edit for content. and I'm only doing that because I don't want to deal with angry comments and religious fanatics. So have a wonderful day. Bye bye.